Okay, hold on. Alright, now we're officially on the recording part. Alright, so...
Now we gotta go through and do that whole thing over again.
No. We're so everybody gets the context. We're geeking out about stuff. I have Aragorn the Unifier deck for Magic the Gathering. It's hard to see it, but...
You got Arwen's sword.
Yeah, he's got Arwen's sword there. I have, so...
My story stat in the reflection.
Rosie Cotton is in here as well. So I got a little bit of the halfling splash in here for
Sam's wife?
Yes. I don't have Sam yet. Sam is going to be one of the cards I buy eventually. I do have like amazing art though for Lord of the Rings, like book inspired art, not movie inspired art for these cards. So they look amazing.
I know I've mentioned it before, but I have the same birthday as Tolkien.
Oh yeah. Also, the cool thing is this was made for my dad, so I got him Superman sleeves. So,
okay, Superman.
Yeah, he doesn't actually play a whole lot of Magic anymore, but this deck has a lot of gas in it because it's Lord of the Rings and it's for my dad. I've got Meredith Brandybuck, also from the book, but he basically makes more food for halflings. I've got this Galadriel, gift giver, in here.
Okay. That's the elf queen?
Yeah, elf queen. And then I've got, well, not really queen. She's like the elf lord, kind of. There's like the lords of the elves and the queen, you know what I'm saying? They're not exactly like a major queen, though. But yes. And then I have Lindis bread in here for fun, just because it's fucking Lord of the Rings. Why not, right? Lindis. I have a bunch of like other stuff from other Magic the Gathering stuff. So I have some of my favorite sets were the Greek-inspired ones. So I have like Klothos, which is supposed to be like it's like a mix of like the Klothos from the Three Fates, and it's their own one person though of the three. Like they're the god of destiny instead of being one of three of the destiny. I've got Gandalf, White Rider. He's not really special though. He's cool in the way of whenever he dies, he goes from the 5th card on the top of your deck instead of going to the graveyard, so he's always 5 days away. Get it? So
look to the sun.
Yeah, exactly.
The rising sun.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's like a really cool one. They're going to be at the very bottom of this deck, aren't they? Yes, they are. Okay, so I have Faramir, Fair Commander as well in here. So Faramir with the dope art looks amazing. That's the main reason.
Come back when you've won, boy.
Right, yeah, and it's the really hard scene where he's finding his brother's horn shattered on the art of the card. So it's him kneeling with the scene of Gondor rising up behind him in the art of the card. It looks so fucking cool.
I'm surprised I even remember all this shit, I'll be honest with you.
It's so good. But I also have the very best, of course, Aragorn and Eowyn newlywed. So I had her in here as well, but she kind of doesn't go with the theme of the deck now that I'm kind of tweaking it more. It's kind of being big explosive creatures with big turns popping off kind of thing, spawning a bunch of little guys. So
I don't have it in here, but I probably should. I don't really have a place for my books in here yet. But like I've got several copies of Lord of the Rings, the books, and then I've got the Tolkien bestiary. That goes through all the beasts and wild animals and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, I know Tolkien's been done to death for decades, and justifiably so. But yeah, he sets an amazing figure, like his story and where he came from and the things he's seen. The dude made up his own languages, for Christ's sake. It's just like, holy shit.
Look at the representation on this card, too, if I can get the light right on it. There is actual Elven on the edge of the card. So, like, they were kept to the lore of the universe. There's actual Elven written on the sides. I don't know what it says. I do not know how to read Elven. But I love that this is the cards, at least for Magic the Gathering, what they did for them is a really good representation of Tolkien, though. And not like the movies and the, like, having, of course, Viggo Mortensen and everything like that be the representation. No, they went from the book.
That's nice.
Yeah. I nerd out about that stuff. I like that they did the same thing with the Avatar set that just came out. Have I shown you this yet? If not, I'll show
The Last
everybody else, too.
Airbender? Are we talking Airbender or the blue guys?
Avatar: The Last Airbender. So this is the new set from Magic. My brother got me the showcase set, so I have a nice little art showcase of a scene from the Avatar. Yeah. I have like Aang, Katara. There's a bunch of other ones, but they implemented water bending, air bending, fire bending, and earth bending into Magic as mechanics. Airbending does something with other people's cards. I'm not exactly sure what the fuck it does.
You've seen my... I show you this thing?
Which one is that? I can't tell. Oh, that's dope. Then yes, you will love. Hold on. Let me find
that's on the wall right next to my...
Let me find the fucking card. Hold on. You'll love this shit.
It's a hologram, like, so yeah, it goes back and forth between the two of Katara. That's
so sick. But yeah, they have all the actual bendings represented really well.
There's this store here where I live. It's called the Bamboo Hut, and it is jam packed full of every imaginable anime that you could think of, and all the ones you've never heard of. I mean, it's got figurines, posters, those scented waterfalls with the smoke. I mean, everything that you could. It's amazing in there.
Just because we're still on topic of it, here is Gollum in his amazing ass artwork. It's hard to see because it's holographic and the lighting is exactly the best in my room.
He's holding up the ring.
Yeah, I think he is. Yes, it's when he's in the cave holding up the ring in the book. Yeah. And then there's like...
Yeah, you could geek out in the store that I'm talking about, though.
Oh,
it's got...
do that.
That's where I got that thing for that hologram picture from, but, like, it's almost like a store. Every time I go in there, the guy, it just doesn't seem like he wants to sell anything. It's almost like he got the store so that he could buy all these figurines and just kind of have them.
That is
next time I'm in, I'll take a picture of the place, and you'll see what I mean.
That is what they do sometimes. I'm not even gonna bullshit you. Like, they actually do that. I can't find her right now, but I have Hama, the woman that teaches Katara bloodbending. She's fucking nasty in Magic. Oh my god, is she good? So they did the show justice in the cards. I need to get more of them. The plan is I have a 5-colored deck, so you're aware. It's just kind of bullshit. It's one of them is like dragons. So I play dragons. They fly in, they hit you in the face. You can't block them on the ground. That's like all they do. Nothing super special. It's just I wanted to have a dragon deck and be on theme. I have dragon sleeves for it and everything like that. Like it's all on theme. Just cool.
Hey, you don't have to justify your geeking out, bro.
Oh, I know. But
it's the shit
I actually geek out about, let me tell you, is the Greek stuff. So this is an oversized card. This card is literally like as big as fucking part of my face.
Is that a whole deck that's that size?
No, not the whole deck. Just the commander of the deck is, and I play a lot of commander in Magic, so it's a 100-card format. No copies of individual cards. You have to have each individual card being something different, except for your lands. You can have basic lands be whatever the fuck you want, kind of thing. But, for example, in the Aragorn deck, a lot of the lands in that are dual lands, so there's 2 colors on them. Can only have one of each name, so I have to be creative and grab the different ones from the different sets, and so some of them will be like, you gain 1 life, or you scry 2, or you lose 2 life when this enters the battlefield, kind of thing. So, it just kind of depends on what you're doing. The Dragon deck is like that too, where it's just a lot of like dual lands and shit. But Aang has a 5-color card, and I want it because I want to make a 5-color commander deck around Aang and the whole Avatar set and have everybody in there. I've got the whole gang right now. And then I have Boomy and Zuko, Iroh, and somebody else. I might have the Boulder too. But the Boulder, yeah, I have like the fun cards.
Isn't that Mick Foley that does that?
I think
does
so.
They're like the wrestler guy, the thing.
I think
was that
so.
His thing?
Yeah. I think that is who it is. If I'm not mistaken, it is. I'll have to look it up. Anyway, let's get on to the main event now that we've yapped for a little bit and enjoyed our time. So
Now that we've enjoyed ourselves, let's do something we don't like.
Oh no, I enjoy this still. This is still fun for me. Don't get me wrong. But to show you, I have made thorough notes, and I have bookmark and everything where I still was making
you
tabs.
have the book.
Yeah.
That kind of I kind of feel like I should get the book for everyone that I mean, I know I listen to them, but I feel like I should get the hard copy as well, or at least the paperback.
So I have a book here that is off-brand. Okay, so this is one I got from Kelcade and is signed by the author, so you're aware. That's why I have the paperback of this book. All right. Same with this one. The same with Dragon Seed. I didn't know this. My dad got this one for me for my birthday this year from Lit RPG Con. So I have a happy 28th birthday from James Osiris Baldwin in the front, and a nice little note from Justin Thomas James in the back. So that's part of the reason I wanted to cover this one on here and all that. The other thing, though, this book I want to try and cover here soon, and to spoil a little bit of what I got you for Christmas, they had it on sale at Walmart, so you have a nice hardback cover book coming to you soon.
For me?
Yes, yeah. I'm gonna get your address here soon and mail it to you. But yes, this is going to be coming your way, so you'll have a nice hardcover one.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
that is greatly appreciated. Thank you.
I want to try and cover it soon, and then this one we can like slow read.
That's not part of the
Lit RPG stuff.
Well, no, the one that we read from her.
No. That is not part of the Dark King's Tidings series. This is a different series from her. It's I haven't gotten super into it yet, just so you're aware. I have tried and stopped because of work and travel and things like that. Just haven't been able to actually get into it yet. But this is like a zombie survival kind of situation, and it's in like medieval times, but the world has already fallen to the zombies. So like, I have no idea what else it's about or anything like that, but highly interesting. I got this one at like Fan Expo when she was there randomly. Me and my dad were like, "Oh my God, she's here! Let's go see her! Holy shit! We love Reskin." So we were like, go what?
No, yeah, they're saying Reskin, yeah.
We were one of the few people actually that came over and saw her that day too. So that was really nice that we were able to do that. If I can find the other book, I have another book that I got as well at Fan Expo. That one is highly interesting. The people who
Fan Expo near you, or
it was the one in Denver. I have a bag.
It must be. You guys must get a lot of. You guys let a lot of conventions out there, or what?
There is a lot in Denver for conventions, actually. I personally don't normally go to conventions a lot. I don't have a car, so it's hard for me to get up there and back and navigate through Denver and all that shit. But the last time we all went as a family to a convention was the Fan Expo one, which was bigger than we all expected, so you're aware. So everybody was kind of overwhelmed by it, including my family and things like that. But I got my dad to go to Lit RPG Con, as you know. You met my dad as well while we were there. But like he went from like I don't know about going. I'm off work at like 6. Well, you'll get dropped off by your brother up here at work, and I'll pick you up and we'll go. To the last day being like, hey, it's 9 a.m. I need you to wake the fuck up so I can go to the goddamn convention floor and go to these panels.
No problem. We have lore to hear, buddy.
Yeah. He's like, I need to go now. You need to get up. So this year he's taking off work. We're getting the tickets and set up tonight and everything like that. I'm going to reach out to Geneva about what they need for volunteering right now. Probably is what I'm going to talk to her about. I don't know if you signed up already for volunteering, right? Again,
I did. I didn't. You never hear back from them though. So like, I'm always like bugging them, like, "Hey, I volunteered. What's happening?" And they're like, "We're still in the process." And I'm like, "Okay, don't let me bug you into a no."
Well, yeah.
Just sign me.
Exactly.
Sign me up.
They also.
Let me help you.
We're talking about it today, so you know.
Where are you going to go talk about it at?
She talks to people about the convention stuff in her own time. I messaged her on Facebook and added her on Facebook because that's what she said. She was like, in the Richie's Guild, shout out to Richie's Player Guild, might as well, since we're at it.
I'm in it. I made it in.
Yeah. So he was on TikTok, and he's the only reason I have TikTok right now. First time I've downloaded it ever.
I'm following you now.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for content.
I don't know if I'll make anything. I'll be honest with you. We'll see. But I followed him for one night because I was walking home from work the other day, and it was like super freezing cold, and I was like, I need something better than a book to keep me entertained right now. And so I was listening to them while we were closing up, and then I was walking home and messaging them and everything, and I was like, Geneva, I actually need to talk to you soon because I want to try and set something up. The thing I wanted to try and set up, we can talk about off camera because I don't know if it will happen or not, and I don't want to get people excited if people watch this and go to the convention and expect it to be there kind of thing. But
just remind her that I have volunteered and that she needs to pick me again.
Oh, I will, and I'm gonna try and volunteer for merchandise floor this year to go try and help out SBT, officially help out SBT as a volunteer.
Kind of like what you did last time.
Yeah,
except
just
more official.
Yeah, just actually officially do it this time because I was just hanging out with them because I wanted to hang out with them kind of thing, and then they were all kind of like, oh yeah, you can come back here and hang out with us. We're all cool with that, and then just kind of ended up being at their booth all the time. So might as well. Might as well volunteer to help them out because they were all panicking most of the time anyway with how many people were coming to their booth. You know, like there were so many people last year coming for specifically Jeff, them, getting merchandise and stuff. I know that some of the times they were overwhelmed. I was too. How many people there were? Oh my god. One thing though, before we actually get fully started now, since we got derailed again. Before we get
maybe that's what we should. Maybe that should be our name. Is derailed. Derailed.
I mean, I like the Reading Knook a little bit better because
the Reading Knook. Sorry. I'm Reading Knook.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been thinking about getting some of those little woobbles things, those little crochet animal things that you can make. So it would fit at this point. The name would fit.
You should maybe make it the logo, part of the logo. That would be fitting, right?
Yeah, it's something like that. I wanted to. The one thing that I'm excited for that I hope they do again is I hope they do live readings again, but I hope they have like their own space for live readings this time instead of doing it on the merchandise floor, because there were so many people there that nobody was really listening to it. I was enjoying the hell out of it though. I would be sitting there going, "Oh, this is such a really good chapter of this book. I've never heard this book before. What is going on?"
I mean, they really should set it up as like almost like a lounge, like where there's a bunch of bean bags where people can just kind of sit and comfortably and just kind of enjoy the person reading their story versus like the mayhem that was in the merchandising room. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So give me a moment to reorganize where my little tags are. Okay. Green tag was dragon stuff. Yellow tag is crafting, it looks like. Yes, it's Lyran's Grove and crafting. Okay, cool. Alright. Okay, I am good to go officially. I don't have all of my tags set up in my book, sadly, just yet. But okay, I have all of the notes in front of me, both digitally, physical, and everything else. Alright. What would you like to start with? What hooked you the most?
Let's start from the beginning.
Let's go with that. Actually, yeah. Let's start with what hooked you the most. What did you enjoy most about this story as you went into it?
The part that got me going the most was actually the ending. The last couple chapters where he. I don't know if I guess we're doing. It doesn't really matter.
No. We don't have to cover each chapter.
The last couple chapters, I just found it was a great job of finishing the book and enticing somebody to go get book 2, because I really enjoyed. He gets busted. He's talking to the dragon lady, the mom, the mother dragon.
Yep.
I forget her name. I'm going to be horrible with names. You can always throw them in there if you remember them.
I can do you one better and actually look.
Besides the Kuralti is
Kuralti.
That is his dragon.
Yes.
But that's not the mother's name. But anyhow, he goes in there, he talks to her. Well, there's two things, I guess. I mean, the fact that he's got that dark sigil that kind of separates him from the other dragon riders, or just, I mean, most of the players in the game to begin with.
Hold on. I have something else for that too. Hold on.
But I just like I like those last couple of chapters where he's talks to the dragon, he kind of gets arrested, he has to fight his way out because he hears two people that he got he got into trouble.
Right.
And he's able to, to make his way out.
Tarn Trakar or whatever it is, motherfucker.
So, I liked that. I mean, I liked... The beginning was interesting as far as, like, how the game went into its immersiveness. Like, I like that he's dead, technically.
Yeah.
There's none of this in and out, kind of log in, log out kind of thing.
Well, he is dead. He is permanently in this world. This is now his lifeboat.
Right, and I mean, he's assuming nothing happens to the computer systems in the real world. Then when he dies in the game, his respawn.
I think that's actually covered in this book.
It is.
It's covered.
It is. I mean, I think he dies once. I think.
No. It's covered like that. Something happens to the servers on the real world. So, if I'm not mistaken, in the confrontation with Baldur and Lucian, where they stab him in the back and steal the sphere. I'm almost positive he fucks with Lucian by telling him, something happened with the servers. You might want to go check it. The shard might have gotten nuked, and he's right.
I think you do. I do vaguely recall that something happening.
If I can
because he experienced some weirdness, and this is why I probably need the book, because I can't go back to the audiobook and be like, well, just let me listen to this real quick.
I mean, you can if you clip it. If you're smart while you're listening to them and clip them. I've been trying to do that more and more. I keep forgetting to clip sometimes. I have to go back and clip it again, and then I now have the clip of what I want. But I usually use clips to find funny lines so I can bring them up to narrators. That's usually my favorite thing to do. So I need to get some more clips so I can do that this year at our little RPG Con.
That's a good idea.
I'm trying to see if I can find the dragon.
Would it happen around like chapter 30-ish?
Yeah, I'm in the 30s now, so 31. Nope.
I'll be honest, it's weird what I can remember and what I just completely forget.
Oh, this might be...
I can tell you roughly where it was in the book, but not exactly what happened.
Oh, you're good. This might be where they betray him. I think that's what it is. Yeah. This is right before he breaks off and they betray him. He's talking to Matir.
I like his mount too. While you're looking at it, his mount's fun.
Yes. So eventually, while you're listening, this is a little Easter egg. Eventually, while you're listening to the Sound Booth Theater productions of the book, Cutthroat will come into the studio, break in, and start killing everyone.
Oh no!
Yes, it's like one of my favorite end of books things they've ever done, and I'm like, this is amazing. I love it. This is perfect. I'm trying to see if I can find the dragon's name, or even the moment where the interaction with Lucian and them happened. Oh yeah, this is where he transforms. 39 is where he has the flashback to his time at war, his PTSD.
That's when he's going through the training.
40 is where he's in the matriarch's chambers. It looks like the matriarch is her name. Until I can actually find her name. Because I know she does tell him her name.
Right, he finishes his training and then gets locked in the room with her.
Yeah. I'm up to that point now, I think. No, this is now where Balder attacks him. So yeah, we have the matriarch. So this is where he gets captured. Matriarch is what we have. Follow me. Matriarch, that's all we have. All we have for her name is Matriarch, so you're aware. After that, he does not see her again. So, I think in the later books, her name gets brought up. But for the moment, it's just the Dragon Matriarch.
So after she teleports him out with the egg, that's the last he sees her?
Mm-hmm. For a little while, at least, yes.
Right. Okay.
Because he has to raise Karalti after that. But yes, I wanted to do a little bit more of a different one anyway for this podcast. So I wanted to talk about the book in its entirety. So we can start near the end anyway, so it's fine.
Let's do it.
But, so everybody is aware, the book starts out with a very fun time for me. This book originally came out like 2019, 2020, okay? So right around the time of COVID, okay? So everybody is aware, okay? This book, Dragon Seed, starts out with Hector dying of this hex virus that is a Chinese bioweapon, or no, that's not Chinese. What is it? It's a Pacific Alliance bioweapon. That's what it is. It's a Pacific Alliance bioweapon that was unleashed onto the world and is now ravaging people the exact same way COVID did with your lungs, except 20 times worse, and you died in 7 days. So, me reading this, listening to this during the pandemic was hilarious. Loved that. I was like, oh my god, this man is a fortune teller. Got to bring that up to him.
This man write any more books?
Yeah, I got to bring that up to him at the convention, and he was like, oh yeah, that was one of those things where I was writing about it and it happened. And I was like, oh god. Yeah, no, I love
God.
Yeah. I loved that response from him. He was like, ooh. But yeah, no. So anyway, Hector's dying of hex. His name's Hector Park. He's a soldier. Breaks out of his barracks because everybody around him is pretty much corpses at this point. All of his chain of command has either left or are also corpses at this point. So he goes and hops on his bike and goes home because his brother texts him and tells him, hey, if you're getting this, I'm sick, come home. So he goes home. Sees his brother is legitimately like dying worse than he is on the couch, and is like, Hector, is that you? So there is that. What Hector doesn't know, and we don't know until his brother explains it to him, is that his brother's been working for the game development company called... So I know the Chronos is the device. Oros is the AI. Hold on. Ryoko Industries. That's what it is. I'm sorry, I had to flip over to the back of the book because the image is on the back of the book for their company logo at that point because it was bothering me. So he's working for Ryoko Industries, who are making Archemi, a VR MMORPG. They also have done simulations for military personnel and things like that to try and get them, acquainted with military hardware and that kind of thing. So that's how they have the clearance to actually have the VR technology and be able to release the system that they have where it jacks into your spine, and then you have this little disc that floats behind your head that contains all of your data. With Hector learning this, the recovery team for his brother shows up, and they take him and his brother. They are iffy on if his brother is going to survive or not. More aware that Hector is in the stage where he can survive the transition still. He has a high chance of not making it, but he has a better chance than his brother does. But they give them both the option and they do it. So they get airlifted out, and then we get into the actual Archemi development and everything, because Hector is told, I think, a little bit more backstory about the industries, about them having military contracts, that kind of thing. and then he falls asleep because he's exhausted from getting to the from where he was to now because he's sick. Like, I can't remember if he's at the stage where he's coughing up blood yet.
It's right before that.
Yeah,
I think he starts coughing up blood as he's getting put into the machine.
Yes, yeah. I think as they're starting to download his brain, he starts coughing up blood, and he's progressing to the next stage of the illness. His brother's already at that stage, if not already on to the next stage of the illness. So he kind of, goes in, is given the character creation, which, mind you, this game's character creation, I want more like this, man. Like, legitimately, I want more like this. This is some of the most in-depth character development and, like, customization you could do for a backstory of a character, man.
There's a lot.
Like, all the way down to actually having the tattoos of the people that you're a part of on your body. Like, it's really cool. I like that a lot. Like, very, very cool. What race would you pick out of all of them? The Mercurian, the Toon, the regular noble people, what are they? They're not humans, I don't think. They're something else.
You're assuming I remember the descriptions of each race.
Well, I'm not assuming that you do. There are Artanis, Mewfolk, Mercurian, and Daunton. Those are like the four main races, and then they drop down into the different ones. The Artanis subcategory options are Dakari, Volcanian, Sharet, Sethbari, Plainsman, Hercynian, Kago, Okinavian, Chuanian, that kind of thing. Like, they're all just like different, basically, regions of the world that they come from. So you're aware. So you're
right.
getting
Yeah,
drift.
Nice.
Like, but it's basically just humans. Yeah. Basically, they're just humans. They're then broken down into different ones. The Dakari, however, are unique because they're more of like your desert nomad people. And they have a specific subrace called the Fireblood, which is unique to them. It's people who basically, in their culture, have a hand-in-hand symbiotic relationship with their magic. And it kind of fuels their body, as well as, like, they can use it on their own. Like, magic fuels from their own life force kind of thing, if that makes sense. So you're aware, if you keep listening, that comes relevant. All the races actually become pretty relevant in the story.
It was hard following all the ones that when he was listing them off, but that is one of the questions that I was wondering about. Was like, okay, he's gone very in depth about all of these different places that you can be from, all the different races and their abilities. Is this something that he just was like, it'd be cool if I could just list these off, or was this actually going to come into play later on?
Oh, yeah. So, let me see. I don't remember if there's a map of Archemi in the book or not. Let me look real quick. No, there's not that part. No, Archemi is like... If I'm not mistaken, Archemi is a moon that's surrounding a planet. So you're aware. So it's like the size of our moon, if not the size of like one of the moons of Neptune or something like that. Like, it's just a moon.
Is it like Pandora in Avatar?
Kind of. It's kind of like that, where it's like a moon of a bigger planet that can support life and all of that kind of things. The thing about it though is Hector is in like the central region of the area. He's not in like Tungant is from like the highlands up to the north. Like, they're way out of the way, if that makes sense. Completely removed from all kinds of progression of culture. Meanwhile, in the city, the city he's in the book, they're all the way up to the point that the noblemen have plumbing and hot water rooms on their bathtubs and an entire tower made for fucking dragons to come land on and be saddled up in and then deployed into different combat zones. You know what I'm saying?
I just sent you the map.
Oh, you did find a map? No way.
I did.
Let's go. I can't exactly pull it up while I'm recording.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, you're accurate about where you're placing these places.
Well, I've listened to more of the books, and this is one of my favorite series. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This series is what made me go, okay, Justin Thomas James is like my second favorite narrator or third favorite narrator of all time, like, period. I absolutely love him for what he does on this series. For the audio version, I'm more of an audiobook enjoyer myself, as you know, but I'm trying to get more of the physical stuff. Oh no, I have lost him. We've lost him. Uh-oh. Well, I shall wait until it comes back. Oh.
That's weird.
Oh. Is he gonna have the video come back in too, or is it still geeking out on him? I gotta put this tablet. Watch stream.
There we go. It did not like me doing that.
Oh, I see. You're streaming the map. Ah, that's what you were doing. Alright, let me see if this is gonna come up on the recording too, real quick. Oh yeah, this is like beautifully centered on the recording as well. It's beautiful, beautiful.
Nice. See it all right?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, there's, as you can see, there's the two different continents of Archemi. Technically, there's a third and fourth, if you count the ice mass up near the north and the Zont Peninsula.
The Shatter.
Yeah. If you count the Shatter and the Zont Peninsula, technically there's like 3 actual continents. There's an island. What is it when there's a cluster of islands?
Oh my god.
Archipelago. There's an archipelago in the southern, like, most region, and then there is like a Japan-like island peninsula as well.
My cheat sheet for when I'm writing.
Yeah.
It gives me all of the. I was like, I'm not going look what, and there it is, archipelago.
Yeah.
You, sir, are correct. Very well.
I try. Yeah, I try. When it comes to words, I try. I used to be really bad at reading in elementary school, and then I got really into it because of a certain program that I was in, and I was like, yes, this is amazing. I love books now.
Perfect. All right.
But yeah, so it mainly takes place on Artana, I want to say. No. It takes place on the left. It does take place on the left. Yeah, I think so. Because we got Tungant. It might be the other way around. I'm not exactly sure. It's been a fat minute. It's been a fat minute. I know that the island off to the south of Artana is Mulholm. That's where the Mulholm thing is for. That is specifically an island for the cat folk where they live on. If I'm not mistaken, it's also like mostly only females on the island, if not all only females on the island. Like, they just send the men out in the world and kind of say, fuck you. Their culture is very amusing to me. There's God, what kingdom do they fight for? That's the question why didn't I write that down anywhere?
Yeah, Tungant
is where
he's from. Zont, the Lost Continent, Mulholm.
I think the Tungant continent has oh god, what is it? this is going to bother me now, because I had the same thing happen when I was talking to Justin Thomas James, where we named all of the other things. He's the Lavold of a region later on, and so you're aware, Lavold is like, it's like right underneath Duke, so you're aware, or it's right above Duke. It's like in that range of ranking in the hierarchy of power. And if I'm not mistaken, he's in the continent on the left, and he's a most of the time. If I'm not mistaken, the continent on the... Oh, no, maybe he is on the right. No, yeah, he's on Artana. He's on Artana because there's the country in between right over here, if I'm not mistaken. Right, yeah.
Is it zooming in right
yes.
for you?
Yeah. I'm looking at it as well. So that entire like sandy region, that's where the Drakari are. That's where the fire-blooded people are. To the southern part of this continent, where the red and the orange are on the map, where the mountain range. Yes, right there. That is where the Drakari are from, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
I think because because all their stuff is all whatever. Like it's mainly inspired by like Middle Eastern stuff from our world. So their stuff is spot on for being right there. If I'm not mistaken, this region to the north in that mountain pass is a kingdom. Yeah, I think this. Yeah, I think this entire area is a kingdom in between, or it's all part of the kingdom that he's a part of right now. If I'm not mistaken, it's right now where he's at.
Like he kind of took Europe, Asia, and Africa and kind of just
shredded them. Yeah, they kind of just shredded them and then combined them together for this. I kind of like how it looks, I'm not going to lie to you. It's very confusing as well to see this map for like the first time instead of having it like in my head. So I'm like kind of figuring out, but specifically the Zaunt area, that is where he was going in the airship at the very beginning of this book. So this is a great reference point for like where they were at the start. Yeah, so they're like over there, and the country he's in is either on the right in Artana or it's on the left in Draugr, whatever it is, Drowry or something like that. It's been a hot minute. I cannot remember how to pronounce it. But he's like later on in the series and stuff, he becomes more important in the relevancy of the game, of course, as you know, because he was given at the end of the book, he was given a specific dragon. You will come to learn more about who she is in the second book if you actually listen to it. I know we have the box set personally because that's what we are listening on.
Yeah, books 1 through 3.
Mm-hmm. So you'll see in those books it becomes more important. And if I'm not mistaken, the third book in that one of the other like side characters becomes far more relevant. Because in the second one, you're introduced to a fire-blooded Drakari character, so you're aware. And then I think in the third book, she becomes even more relevant because she's, revealed to be something more than she is. But her story is also quite sad, and it actually delves into the horrors of actual war and human advancement in war. I know that's like briefly covered in this book with his PTSD flashbacks and the actual fallout of what's happening from his actions at the end of the book with helping that one settlement. Like small little actions of good are not rewarded well in this world kind of thing. So I know that's briefly mentioned in this book. That is definitely brought up with her character in the second book far fucking more. But Suri is like... Alright, so who's like your favorite female protagonist in a movie or book?
That's a tough one.
Like I'm talking like strong, like powerful kind of one, like Wonder Woman type archetype, you see what I'm saying? Not exactly hero, but like anti-hero kind of levels can be accepted.
I really like Rogue.
Okay, so that's actually a great example of this for what would happen. I'm almost positive Suri would beat the absolute brakes off of Rogue. Like,
Even with her gloves off?
Even with her gloves off, because she's used to having her powers drained and in pain and things. She's used to it, so she might actually beat the brakes off of her.
Okay.
Like, eventually in the series you'll understand why I'm saying that, but like, if
Now
we're
you
talking
wonder-
gloves off, no armor, all that stuff, like just weapons of whatever she's got that she uses like an axe or something like that. She even without using the blade of the axe, she would probably beat the shit out of Rogue sometimes. Rogue would definitely win. Like, I would say Rogue probably would win 3 or 4 times out of 10, but she probably would come out on top just from how strong she is. She is like Rogue in the way of determined to not give up no matter how much pain she's in.
Okay.
So,
What, I mean, are we talking, is like she a Reskin kind of, like...
no, like
Just, or she's just like a
Berserker.
barbarian, like...
Berserker, like
Okay.
Logan levels,
Okay.
like Logan levels of Berserker rage.
Okay.
So you're aware, like Logan levels.
Well-
I don't give a shit about how much you hurt me. I'm taking you down.
I'm gonna let you stab me so I can stab you.
Yes.
Kind of. Gotcha. Okay, I appreciate that. I like that.
Yeah, when she gets real pissed off, she does not care, and she will take a hit to trade a hit. She just will not trade her limb. Like for example, Wolverine would let you cut off a leg to get the kill on you, kind of thing, because then he would just walk over and put his leg back on. It's not exactly good. You can't exactly do that for them. You can somewhat do that with them, but they fight more reserved in that regard of protecting their limbs while they're fighting.
Right.
But yeah, no, she'll take, like, if it's a glancing blow, or if Rogue is just going to try and tap and steal some of, like, her power, she's like, alright, cool, feel that for a little bit, see how you like it, because she does not like having her abilities sometimes.
That's funny. Alright, we capture her in, like, book 3, alright.
Well, no, she's in 2, but she starts...
She's introduced.
Yeah, she's introduced in 2, but, like, even in 2, she's kind of like a badass warrior lady, you know, when she's introduced. Okay. But, like, no, in book 3 and in 4 and 5 and all that, oh yeah, no, she's Hector's, like, main love interest from the rest of the time on afterwards, but that also is highly complicated because of how the dragon bonding system works in this world, as you know, from the Gaius that is explained. They're kind of like soul bonded, like, you know, like all whatever they feel separately, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
That includes emotions and feelings like that. So it gets a little weird in the later books, so you're aware.
So it's almost like it's a twofer. Like, I could love you, but then the dragon could hate you, and then those two emotions are like...
Oh no, it's like whenever he's in the mood, the dragon feels that he's in the mood and is also getting in the mood involuntarily. Yeah, it's like the complete emotional overlap afterwards from now on. So, like, as she's growing up, you know, like in the bond that they feel, he'll feel like parental love, she'll feel like parental love. I think it's weird later on. With everything that happens later on, it gets real weird. But also, it is dragons and animals and animalistic mindset, so it's understandable, you know, like in the grand scheme of things in the later books.
Gotcha.
Anyway, back to the actual book we're covering, not the later ones.
Right. Derailed.
Yeah, well, I mean, not really. We're still talking about the book. We're just talking about the later books. It's not exactly like I'm spoiling a whole lot for you either. The later books, there's like 7 of them, I think. So most of the people who are probably going to listen to this or watch this have already read them or listened to them at this point. But no, it's they're some of the best books that I've gotten into in a while. A lot of people were iffy on the whole romance part of it because they were like, man, I got into this for the action, the compelling story of this war veteran coming in and being reborn into this world and being forced to fight for his life, kind of thing, as you know happens in the beginning of the book, which unintentionally, actually, I get into that because that's not supposed to happen. What happened to him at the beginning of the book. But, you know, a lot of people were like that, and then when the whole thing with Rutha? Yes, when the whole stint with Rutha is brought up in the bathtub, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
That,
oh yeah,
yeah, that whole thing, everybody smoked. There was a lot of reviews at the time, like when the book came out, that people were like, "Yo, I didn't sign up for like a raunchy book, man." And
I skipped a little bit past that. I'm like,
honestly,
okay. He's in the bath with a woman. Congratulations. Let's move on.
Yeah, honestly, it's not that bad. As somebody who actually has listened to way worse books, that's very, very tame in this regard. So I was kind of like, I can see why people would skip past the chapter, for example. But at that point, just skip past the chapter. Don't, you don't have to, if you don't like it.
I mean, it's not even really a chapter. It's like, I mean, it isn't that long.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking. He gets in there, he goes through his transitional thoughts, and then it's kind of over.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just like, if it's relevant to the story, moving the story along, then like, I'm more of like an inferred sexual encounters where it's like you're like, okay, they went into a room together and got naked, fade to black kind of thing, versus listening to somebody else's description of what's happening. And that's when I'm just kind of like, because you never know. You just never know. I mean, it can be done tastefully. It can be, and it's listenable.
I will say this: there's a few of the books where I agree, where it's just can't, gotta skip it.
Like, have you ever been with a woman? Kind of like, not in this instance, but in those other books, it's just that I know what you're talking about. I'm just like, that's just not how it works, man. I'm not saying that I'm like the most versed person in the world, but
this has actually been coming up a lot lately for me, because I've been listening to Titan Mage since Edie Sky added me on Facebook, and so you are aware, Titan Mage, the world, the universe, the actual magic system, everything, fucking so interesting, bro. Oh my god, I'm hooked on the fact that he is literally in a giant magical robot that has catalysts on it that change his magic into doing things. So cool. Love it. Highly interesting. Do not listen to this book when children are around. Oh my good lord. It gets bad. It is a harem book, and this author is a harem author, so it's what she does. That's what she does. She writes specific things for men and markets them towards men, from what I can tell from her own marketing campaign. Highly amusing, mind you. Her marketing is fucking on point, and it is hilarious, and I love it. For example, her new book is a dark hurt romance book or something like that. It's like a monster romance thing where this girl is apparently discarded by her party. The demon sees that and goes, "Not in my fucking house," and gives her powers, and that's how the book apparently has been described. So I'm like, alright, that sounds interesting, but why is it a hurt romance book? What is going on? What's gonna happen in this fucking book, man?
I kind of skip past the harems, so I mean, like I said, even if the woman's doing the describing, it's still kind of like, it's one thing, I guess, to read it. It's another thing to listen to somebody else read it. And I can see where, like, you might cringe from somebody reading it versus you just seeing it on the words on the page yourself. But at the same time, I'm just like, I'll skip. I don't need it.
I will say this, one of my favorite ones is, the universe is really interesting of how the book is actually set up. It's like a PUBG situation. I've told you about this one before, Gunmeister Online kind of book. Yeah. So it's narrated by like Annie Ellicott, Jeff Hayes, and all of them with Sound Booth Theater. When those parts happen, dear God, I had to ask Annie the question of, were you taking real life inspiration for these things? And she started cackling and was like, no, I can see why you would say that, but no. And it was like her first book on with Sound Booth Theater for doing narration and stuff like that. And it's one of my favorite books, from her performance and Jeff Hayes and everybody. Jeff is more of like playing the laid back, like, hey man, what's up? It's cool kind of character. And then fucking Justin Thomas James playing the southern quote-unquote racist man. Yeah, it's just hilarious to me. Like, it's just too good. It's too fucking good. And back on topic now, talking about Justin Thomas James. He does such a fucking great job with this book, man. Oh my god. like every single time he pops up in this book, I am like riveted while he's narrating it. He's legitimately one of my favorite narrators for this. I'm so glad that he got onto this project. And then through this and I think one other series, I was introduced to Lori Catherine Winkle. She is hands down my absolute favorite female narrator. Like, I nerd out about Annie because I've listened to a bunch of Annie's books, and I've tried to listen to some more of Lori's books, but she's not on a whole lot of the Sound Booth books, and that's kind of what I've been hooked on, is the Sound Booth ones, lit RPG stuff.
What's her name?
Lori Catherine Winkle. But like, she does the female cast in this book and in the rest of the books. But like, oh my god, man, she is so freaking talented. She's so good. I love her to death in like everything she's in. She was in the this is why I know. She was also in the Life Reset series, and that was the other series that introduced me to her. And like, oh man, dude, there's so many other books now that like I have to get that she's narrated still. She's the reason I got into the Calamitous Bob series from Sound Booth Theater as well. She just does a stellar job of conveying emotion, and especially in this book series. Not necessarily the first book, because she's not as prevalent. In the second book, however, she's the voice of Karalty, man, and she does a fucking great job with this dragon. I absolutely love it.
Calamitous Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Apocalyptic Parenting. Okay, I've heard that one.
Oh, I haven't heard
Parenting.
that one. Oh, yeah. I heard about that one, actually. I have seen that one before.
And she's got all kinds of books on here.
Mm-hmm. The World Tree. That's another great one. We can't cover that one, though.
Why?
The first book is no longer available. Oh, wait, no. Is it? No. Now it is. Okay, it is now. Never mind. It is back on the marketplace. I was going to say, for a while there, the first book wasn't on the marketplace. But this is a 3-book series that I would love to just cover. Just do all 3 of them, because it's short, sweet, has a great ending to it. You would dig the hell out of this series for the way that the virtual reality is portrayed. Anyway, it's a lot like how this one is in the way of the time dilation and stuff.
Okay.
So that's very cool. That one's really good. Anyway, Lori Catherine Winkle does a great job on these books. She's the voice of Rutha and the rest of the female cast in this book. So she's the voice of the village girl as well.
The one he just saved at the end.
Yeah, the one he saved at the end with her father. She does the voice for her as well. And like, yeah, no, like the voicing for this is stellar. Jeff Hayes is barely in the book. I don't know if you caught what character he plays. Did you catch who he plays?
No, I mean not. I mean, I did. I recognized his voice when he came up. One of them was kind of synthesized.
Yep, that's Matir.
Okay, Matir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I caught that one, and then there was another one. But This is the first book that I actually listened to it at 1.2 speed.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it better for some reason at 1.2. Where other books I've attempted, I'll adjust the pacing.
Mm-hmm.
Anything past 1.2 and 3 at least, I get into Chickmunk. Kira, yeah. I get into Chickmunk voices, so. But I'm still able to pick up, yeah, Jeff's voice, yes.
Yeah, so he's again not super prevalent in this one. He plays Skier Arno and he plays Matir, basically the main asshole to the main character and then the main beneficial aid to the main character. So he gets to play the little demonut and the angel on the shoulder in this one, which I love. But he also becomes more prevalent in the later books. He plays a little bit more of the cast of some of the other side characters, while Justin Thomas really sticks to mainly narrating and sticking to Hector himself, which I like a lot.
Okay.
As you know, Justin is narrating like a couple of the other side characters, like he does Balder, as well. And so, Balder is going to be a recurring character if you haven't been able to tell. From the way he was villainy at the end of the book. you know, him and Lucian deposing Hector from the Order and sending him out, and the whole rest of the ending happening like that.
Lucian's a dick.
Lucian is a fucking asshole. He is the biggest, pompous, rich kid asshole I've ever met in my life, while Balder is the most practical dickhead I've met in my life.
Which is, it's kind of a weird thing to say, but yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, though. Because, look
Right.
at it like that. He always does the practical thing, no matter what it is. Try and adjust my light a little bit there. It helped a little bit. Not really.
I keep adjusting my shit, too.
Eventually
I'll find an angle.
No, your angles is mostly fine. Like, I actually like
My
that.
problem is that I lean forward, I lean back, I'm like...
Well, that's why, like, I have the microphone set up now in the way I have it, because now I'm not leaning past the microphone. Yeah, it covers part of my face, but I'm not going to lean past it now. So, kind of like that.
So what did you want to specifically touch on about this book that you have in your notes?
So I wanted to try and see what character plot points stuck out to you, because I would like to try and cover the other books as well, and have you try and go through the series and get your opinion. I don't know if we'll be able to do that before Lit RPG Con, but if you would like to listen to it on the side and do that, I'm sure probably James will be there again, the author. He was there last year, which I was shocked about, because he's Australian? New Zealander? Australian, I think. So it was a shock that he was there, but he might actually show up again. I was very pleased to have met him. But I figured that you and I... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
I was just going to say, finishing any, like, book 2 or book 3 is really dependent upon what our schedule is for the other books that we want to check out. Because, like, I have...
You're so
whatever
busy
that,
with everything else.
Well, no, I mean, yes, but we have the next book lined up, which I've already downloaded, and then I see somebody on the Discord talking about Not the Hero. I don't know if that was something that we wanted to cover.
Don't worry about what the other people are saying in the book club one specifically. They're all like me in speed reading books.
Okay.
Hefe, the one who brought up the Not the Hero series, he finished all 5 books of Will of the Immortals in less than a week, like I did, I want to say.
Must be.
So, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So don't worry about what they're talking about for that. The thing that you get to choose the next one. Yeah, you get to choose the next one before we do Steel Foundations. So you get to pick whatever book you want to do next. That one is just the one that I wanted to do next, and I'm going to do like a little book club one for the whole series for that. And if you like that series, Jay is most definitely going to be at Lit RPG Con, so you can go meet him as well and ask him any author-related questions for that one. Those ones are shorter, though, compared to Archemi. I think Archemi is like an hour or two longer.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing Steel Foundations or even Ultimate Level 1. Or Discount Dan, I guess would be my... Why you put this pressure on me?
Because it's your choice. That's how we're doing it, man. You pick one, I pick one, I pick one, you pick one.
Well, no, okay. I'll think about it while we're finishing, while you're finishing your thoughts on this one.
You got plenty of time. I get paid at the end of the week, so I'll be able to actually pick it up at the end of the week, so don't worry. But back to the rest of this.
Yeah.
I have far too many notes. I took chapter by chapter notes, so do not ask me about what I have important. The super big...
The beginning, let's...
stuff. Well, the beginning is him getting sick and all that stuff I already explained. The beginning of the book, though, however, he spawns in an airship in chains, which is different from everybody else. Everybody else usually spawns in...
forest. Cave.
No, I think they spawn in the town, specifically whatever race that they are affiliated with. So him spawning in the airship is an anomaly.
Almost like the beginning of a video game, though. Like I can name a couple of video games where that's where you start, maybe not on a ship, but you start in chains, locked up, about to be executed, shit like that. So I mean, as far as like being a video game leaning scenario, I mean, I think it starts off really well, where you're locked up and you have to immediately create a mutiny on a ship.
Yep. But the important thing, though, is that the glitch prompt that pops up initially, where he's not supposed to be there. He is actually a bug in the system, and his HUD doesn't work until Mateer shows up and goes, "Hey, I'm gonna give you my mark. You're gonna have my blessing, and you're gonna be a starboard." He's like, "What the fuck is a starboard?" Which I love. I love that he's just immediately like, "All right, this is happening. All right, what the fuck is that?"
What is all of this?
Yeah,
yes, please, somebody fill me in.
Yeah, that's kind of refreshing. This was like one of the first books for me that did that. Before it's now become like kind of a trope for lit RPG, where like the oblivious main character for the system and things like that. There's a little bit of that in this for like maybe 3-4 chapters after they get rescued from what happens after the mutiny. Yeah,
It takes a while.
starts learning
They
it.
crash into the snow, right?
Mhm.
Snow-filled mountains, and then he has that like find survivors quest, or they fight.
No. It's this find survivors quest first. So what happens on the airship? So let's get into. All right. Let's go back to our original format for the podcast. So after the mutiny in the airship, Hector and everybody get to the captain's nest. The captain fires a shot, injuring. No, he doesn't injure anybody. He misses and it ricochets. And everybody's like, stop firing in this cabin. You're going to kill us all. And so they convince the captain to stand down. And as Rutha and Hector are trying to defuse the situation, the entire mob has mob mentality and starts storming the place, killing people and destroying the ship, causing them to crash. If I'm not mistaken, Hector blacks out before they crash. And then he wakes up impaled on a spike.
It sounds familiar.
Because I don't think he's actually conscious for the crash itself.
I'd have to go back and revisit that, but that I think I don't remember.
I'm almost positive that he blacks out in some form or fashion before they crash. But I know he wakes up with the spike in his shoulder. Oh wait, does he die, or he might die or go down to critical HP, and that's why he blacks out. Either way, anyway. He wakes up, he has this Find Survivors quest, he goes along and starts pulling some people out of the wreckage, finds Rutha, who has at least one broken leg, and I think a broken hand or arm. It's like hand, arm, or shoulder. It's something in this region that is also broken on the other side of her body. Yeah. So he makes her a sled and starts dragging her around. He gets some food for them, makes a little campfire. There's not exactly a whole lot of food to go around in this crash. Everything's kind of burning. People are kind of dead and also burning, so it doesn't smell very good. I remember that being a distinct thing. And then Rutha tells him that she needs to get to the ship's engine, because I think there's one remaining engine intact, and she needs to use it to power her spell to call aid into the cliffs of Vaunt, where they are. Yes, because they're on the cliffs of Vaunt. And so... Oh no, they're on the cliffs of some... Maybe it's some random island. I don't think they made it to Zont just yet, or they made it like right above the edge of Zont, and that's where this is. One of the two. Because I think they remember that they were talking about how they didn't make it exactly to Zont yet, how they're still like a couple 100 miles away or something like that, while they were in the airship with the captain. So after Hector and her go over there, finding maybe like one or two other survivors. There's not a lot of survivors from this crash. Almost everybody is dead. He then is given a quest to protect Rutha after she sets up her spell and is like, Hector, you must protect me. The monsters will come and kill me if you don't. And so harpies come out of the sky, and for some fucking reason in this world, harpies are goddamn poisonous. Yeah. Don't know why they're poisonous. It's the same way in Dragon's Dogma. Hate that shit. But Hector is, of course, heavily wounded, but kills all of the harpies and is heavily poisoned. I think he's down to his last HP point before he passes out for a little bit. Hello. Oh no. It's my wife and daughter. I just making sure.
They're gonna say hi.
That's fine. Hello. Nice to meet you guys.
Hi.
Hello.
They thought I was giving them the stop symbol. I was going for a high five.
No, I was just being quiet just in case we needed to edit out, in case you don't want them to be on recording. But they both.
Oh yeah, you can take them out.
So. I probably will, so I'll probably edit it out until right now. Anyway. Hector is down to his last HP point, and the dragons come in, and Talinth and his rider Skir Arno are the first ones that he sees, and he's like, wow, what a beautiful dragon, and then kind of passes out. If I'm not mistaken, he's fading in and out of consciousness, or on the edge of about to pass out. On his feet kind of situation, but he's still able to walk around and everything, but he's woozy and wobbly and all that.
In a massive daze.
Yeah. So they grab him and they grab Rutha and they kind of just dip. So nobody else gets saved. Just him and Rutha get saved. Which, mind you, there was still survivors in that wreck because he had that quest. What happened to the survivors? They're just dead now, I guess.
They're the Donner Party.
Yeah, they're just gone now. Once they get back to the Eyrie Inn, which chapter is it that they get back to the Eyrie? It's chapter 14 or 13. Okay, because they tell me the kingdom right around them too. That's 18. That's far too fast. Because it's bothering me. This is the 5th time I've come into this encounter where I don't know the name of this kingdom. Because this is the one time they're in the kingdom officially.
I think you're right. I think it is the Eyrie.
The Eyrie is the dragon's nest. It's called the Eyrie. I know that for a fact. I don't remember what kingdom they work for though, because they work for a specific.
Gilhelm?
It might be Gilhelm.
Solnesti?
Solnesti is the Dragon Gate. Dragon Gate of Solnesti. So
Liren.
Liren's Grove. Liren's Grove is the city, the town that they were in. What is it? With Kira and her father. That was Liren's Grove. So that's the right region that you found on the map. God, I love having this book now because I can flip through and see the bold text, and one of the small bold texts on this page is "Just fucking die."
I know. I mean, the more that you refer to that book while we're talking, the more I'm I need to pick up. Like I said, I need to pick up the paperback for whatever book that we're reading. Just because for quick references, like the sort of highlighting it or bookmarking or whatever.
I need to start doing that more with the next few books that we do too. I'm gonna try and do that as well. Go to my local bookstore and order them as well, and have them ready beforehand, so they're good. I'm gonna try and order most of the Will of the Immortals series next, because I would like that physical as well as these. Anyway,
we will have this down by Lit RPG Con. We'll actually know what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. But she is the court Rutha is the court sorceress of Ilia. Ilia is the nation. Finally. Ilia. Finally found it. I'm going to use one of my many bookmarks to mark this page, just in case I forget it for a third time. Alright. So, with them getting back to Ilia and Irie and everything, Hector is like, I want a dragon too. How can I get a dragon? And I wish I could make it up, but Skirardo laughs in his face and says, "Get out of my face, you filthy savage."
Take a bath. He's just like, you fucking stink.
Yeah, he's like, you literally smell, and you are a savage. Get out of my fucking sight. You do not deserve the honor of the knights. And so he kind of slinks off, goes, takes a bath. That's where the whole thing with Rutha happens. And then, one moment.
Am I not here again?
No, my dogs just started going crazy, and I don't know if you can hear them when I talk.
Barely. I clicked something right before you said that. I'm like, can I disconnect again?
No, it's my dogs. I have all the audio suppression stuff set up, but my dog was like 5 feet away from me before he ran up the stairs. Okay, should be fine now. And so, damn it, the train of thought departed the station.
We just got done with the bath.
Yes. All right. So.
And now he goes. Then he goes to figure out, okay, how do I get to this academy?
Yeah.
Basically.
He's talking to Rutha, and Rutha tells him that she'll give him a recommendation to it, and so he gets the writ he gets the writ from her, and then he goes and heads to.
He goes to get a cutthroat.
Yeah. He goes to the barracks, gets cutthroat, and then where does he go after that? He goes to the ruins and stuff. That's right. He goes to like the ruins and stuff along the road, if I'm not mistaken.
He goes until he runs into there's some captives. Right, he runs into some soldiers.
Oh no, yeah, this is at first, because he does go straight to Lyran's Grove, and then at Lyran's Grove there's the captives with the soldiers and everything. Yeah, because this is where he meets everybody, and then he gets medical knowledge and supplies and alchemy tools and things like that from everybody. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, he goes and finds this town's under attack. He's like, alright, there's captives here, I'm gonna help the captives, whatever's happening. And then in the commotion, they try to burn down the grain silo or barn.
With everybody in it.
Yeah, it's got everybody and all the food in it. It's got both in it. And then he stops them. They get everybody out, and thankfully nobody was.
Everyone was safe.
I think nobody was killed on the villagers' side. Yeah, people are injured, but I don't think they're killed. All of the soldiers, however.
Well, that's a different story. Because they were outside fighting.
Yeah, they all got burnt. All the soldiers got burnt. Is there dials on the back of this? Oh my god, there's dials on the back of this? Oh my god.
Explore that value. I
didn't know that there's dials back there. That's cool. It's got my game and stuff. Alright. I'll mess with that later. And so he helps the village people out. They kind of are like, "Oh, thank you so much. You know, we very much appreciate you." And then while he's getting patched up by the healer's daughter, she starts hitting on him, and her dad's like, "Kira, you can't be doing this."
Calling her girl.
Girl, you can't be doing this. And she's like, Dad, I'm like 25 years old. Shut up. I love that. I love the dynamic between them where she's just kind of doing her thing, not exactly trying to like get in bed with people, but she's just doing her thing and being herself. And her dad's like, Kira, not my heart. My heart can't take it. It's like the funniest thing to me, especially with what happens at the end of the book with the two of them, and they're both fucking resilient as hell. Like, I don't know why he was so worried.
She went through some torture there, buddy.
Yeah. And on top of that, she knows how to defend herself. She knows how to use a knife. Like, she knows what she's doing. I always loved with my favorite part about this book. The main thing that really gets me into most of these little RPG books, and it's relevant to the story, is just the world building that happens in the small details. Because, like, even while he's on the road, there's, like, deer, and there's bugs, and there's birds, and he's describing the landscape, and the trees are all set up in this weird angle and stuff like that. Sometimes, like, the gnarled roots are overlapping at times. Like, he actually describes all of this stuff to you while he's just riding this giant raptor of a death machine that is his mount. Also, yeah, his mount is an actual dinosaur.
Right.
That's out of the ordinary.
Yeah. It reminds me of Ark Survival, the game.
It really does, because at the beginning he's just dropped in a survival situation and told to survive.
Just give him a gun, and he's pretty much in Ark Survival because he's got magic, right? You know, all he needs is a.
Do they have magic? I think it's cybernetics.
And it's magic, science.
Well, that's different.
You ask.
So some of them are different, depending on the world. Like, if we're talking like Emerillia, correct. If we're talking like Michael Chatfield's Trap Mind Project series, you're right. The science, the magic is legitimately just science. It's nano machines in your body that spew out your magic shit. But other stuff, it's like actual magic, like Will of the Immortals, the one everybody's been listening to that we're going to try and cover soon. That one is key condensation and cultivation, so it's a different twist on everything than you're normally used to, which I'm interested in how you're going to react to it as somebody who doesn't normally do cultivation books.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, I think I've listened to some, but it's Unbound. Will Wright, I think.
No, Steel Foundations is the first one. Will of the Immortals.
I'm talking about.
The other series. Yes. I think you're right. I think it is Will of the Inbound. I think you're right. That sounds right. My fault.
I'm just looking through my library here.
I actually got into it thanks to Harmon Cooper. Really kind of was like the first one that got me into that kind of thing. I was, alright, this is kind of interesting. I'll listen to more of this.
Yeah, Shade's Rule is the Shade's First Rule by AFK. Divine Autopsy, Apostasy, whatever.
Apostasy.
Land, the Ritualists. No.
But yeah, anyway, there's a few of them that have the different magic system where it's key and the absorbing things and all that kind of stuff. That's different from what's in this one, where it's just your standard. Well, actually, it's not your standard. Let's get into the magic system of this one, why don't we? So, how did you like how the fact that in this book series it's not your typical mana system, where mana is actually toxic, poisonous, and radioactive?
I'll be honest, that was a curious thing about how people would be able to wield it, considering that if it's leaking in particular parts of the world, that people, they could die from it with exposure. It's almost like radiation.
It is like radiation because they also weird, where they morph and their body takes on mutations. So it is actually a lot like radiation.
But it can also be if you harness it correctly, it could be turned around and used as a weapon or as a. So I am actually, because what happened, he's unaffected by it now that he's gone through his ritual.
Yes, since he's gone through the trials of Marantha.
Right, mana no longer affects him negatively. But yeah, I did think that was an interesting twist. I remember catching that right off from the beginning. Right at the beginning, they talk about how mana sickness.
Yep, it's because
and I didn't quite understand it at first until they explained it. And I was like, yeah. Does he build on that in the later books?
Oh yeah. It becomes very prevalent because at the beginning of the book, he could have been mutated in any way or form or fashion. And the mutations in this are not pretty. Like, have you ever played Fallout 3 or New Vegas or anything like that?
Not really. Not enough to know.
No, you're good. There's just a
Not enough.
mutated blob in that game that is the best way to describe the kinds of mutations you can get in this world. They're fucking horrible, man.
But it's essentially, for this one, it's building a tolerance for it and training.
No. He went through so his process. Have you know about The Witcher, correct? And about
Right.
what happens with The Witcher and what makes them a Witcher.
No.
Okay, so the process is almost exactly the same as this, where they are given different kinds of deadly toxins, basically. And it's not about building up a tolerance, it's about fundamentally altering and mutating your body. What happened is now he has his organs can actually process some mana, is what's happening with him specifically. And in the Witcher universe, so you're aware, it's the same for both of these in this case. Any of the potions that they have, if normal people would take them, they would die horribly. Like, we're not talking going out into the night and losing your mind and blah, you're dead and have a heart attack. Like, we're talking you're in bed for 3 days screaming until you're dead from the
boiling
mutations.
from the inside.
Yes, like boiling from the inside out kind of shit. Yeah, like that's
Gotcha.
like the kind of shit they can take is on a whole other level now that they've gone through this process. Him in particular, his is different from like the Witcher one. Witchers, they have like cat-like eyes, so they can have better vision around them as well. But in this one, they have like eagle eyes, so they have like a whole 155-degree cone. Like, they can see all the way around in front of them, which is insane.
Which he experienced right there at the end as well, right? Like, once he went through the trial, then he was like, damn, I could practically see behind me.
Yeah, exactly.
With his peripheral.
Which is really interesting. I've always liked how the mutations work for him, and they break down some more of that later on. But he can drink different potions and things now that normal people can't take, and he can actually have like restorative healing potions instead of having to have the poultices and ointments that everybody else has to have, which is the bonus of this.
I kind of assumed the vision thing had something to do with the dragon vision.
They get eagle vision.
It's eagle vision.
Dragon vision is different. It is dragons can actually like see the mana in individuals. So like, for example, they could see the heart of a dragon through the dragon's skin and how the mana is going to accumulate and come out.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's explained, I think, in book 4 or 5. It's like an acquired ability in the skill tree or something like that. You know how it works, like with the level up and everything like that. The dragon has its own ability where it gets that ability to see the mana manifestation through the body and kind of thing like that, which is really cool.
And it's funny that you say that, because like in the end there, he like, when he's in the prison cell, he had yet to assign some skill points.
Yep.
Which I missed. Or I forgot about, because he's in there, and that's actually what allows him to like kind of beef up or buff out a little bit enough to take on the. Did he get that as a result of finishing the trials, or was that something he had prior?
It might have been the reward from the quest completion of the trials, or it was the reward from the quest completion he did before that. Because he completed like 2 quests, 3 quests. Yeah. Because he completed like 2 or 3 quests for the training, and then he held off on, I want to say like 7 skill points, and spent like 5 of them and saved the other ones because he didn't need them for the moment.
He had a few. He only had a few.
Yeah. He didn't have many at the end of the book, but yeah, that is actually a common theme with him. He'll save some points until he really like decides on what he wants, and then actually spends all of them at once, which I kind of like. I'm not gonna lie to you. This was like one of the first books I listened to or read where it was like that, and then in like the Trapped Mind Project, the main character is also like that, but far more to the extreme. In this one, it's more tame, where he's like got like 15 points. Let's drop like 10 on this skill, 5 on this skill, kind of thing, right? In like the Trapped Mind Project, however, the main character's like, I have 307 stat points to assign. What should I pick and slot in some points into? Yeah, in that book, it's crazy how much he sits on his points. In this book, it's more normal. In like, I'm gonna wait till I have enough to like upgrade my best skill, and then I'll upgrade like one or two or acquire one or two more on the side afterwards. I like that more about this book, where he's more reasonable in the way of like an actual player of the game who hasn't played the game yet, who is gonna be like, all right, I want to be reserved. I can't exactly respec my skills. Once I acquire them, I have to work with what I have. So let's look at what I can do and maximize what I can do
right
here. I like
right
that.
now versus long term.
Yeah. Like I've been playing a game,
especially in the beginning.
Mm-hmm, exactly. I've been playing a game a lot lately called First Berserker Kazan. It's like Dark Souls kind of game, but in that one you can unslot the skills and reslot them whenever you want. And so,
That's
like,
nice. I like that.
I do too, especially with this skill set that they have, because it's only for like, you have the spear set, you have a great sword set, and then you dual wield an axe and a sword, and those are the only weapons in the game. And so, like, you just kind of build the skills tree off of what it is, and it's a lot like Archemi, where, alright, if I want to use the spear, I can look at this one attack skill tree and be like, alright, this skill will build into this one, and then this one will build into that one, and like, I kind of like that, where I actually have like a visual representation of what these characters are doing as well, where versus when in the book or in the audio format, you're like, alright, I need to use the theater of mind and build this skill tree out myself in the way I would think about it. But honestly, if there's anything that I want like one of these authors to do that and make like a giant skill tree chart that is just all of the different skill trees for their books. That would be so cool.
Yeah, that would be sick. Something like you see like in why is it drawing a blank? The fucking Elder Scrolls 5.
Yes.
Skyrim.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like where you have that visual, it's almost like a constellation.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to have just that for like one author, one book series. Doesn't matter what series it is. Just like somebody takes the time and actually writes out all of their skills that they've added to their book, and if they ever come up with more, they just add more to it eventually. You know, like that would be so cool. That'd be so good.
That'd be sick. I mean, if nothing else, that'd be something that you could just market your book with.
Yeah, exactly.
Poster or.
Yeah. But yeah, I wish they did that for this one, because specifically the Dark Lancer skill tree sounds so interesting to look at. Like, I want to see like what other skills are on this that I have not been told yet. You know, especially for book 1, because you don't know like a whole lot of what's going to be on there. I do, because I've read all the way up to like 7 or whatever it is.
Right.
But like, there's some cool ass skills. Dude, I want to know these other classes. These other classes are so... They have to be at least a quarter as cool as Hector's class gets, eventually. Like, they have to be a quarter cool of this. Because, like, he, of course, is the aerial... You know, there's the 2 forms of the aerial combat that you can do for that. He's doing the Lancer combat, while the other guys are doing the knightly combat, right? Like, they have sword and shield on the back of their dragon kind of thing, right?
Right.
Bro, he eventually just starts jumping from dragon to dragon with his lance.
Oh god. Like as a pole vault?
No, like, he just has a jump ability where he pulls shadow energy and then leaps like 60 feet in the air. So he literally will just like leap off his dragon and then jump to another dragon and kill the guy on the dragon. It's pretty dope.
I mean, because that's what the series is lining up to be when you finish book 1, is that he's essentially going to free the dragons.
Yes, yeah. So there's also like airship on airship combat eventually that happens in this series, because airships have already been brought up, of course, in this. They're like the first thing that happens to him. Right. But yeah, no, like, so he like jumps off his dragon goes for the balloon, and he boards the ship and just starts carving through people until everybody's pretty much dead and the ship is sinking, and then he jumps off and jumps back on the dragon.
There you go. Badass.
Yeah, like there's some really, really dope scenes in these books for the later books. I really like this series a lot. There's not really a whole lot of other meat to really go over in this book, though. Like, like he gets a spear where it's called the Spear of 9 Spheres. It's this mythical item that he can have. He goes and gets a gem, unplugs it from a wall, No, actually, correct that. He rightly assumes something is wrong with this fucking gem and backs off of it, and somebody else unplugs it from the wall, and it embeds it into his fucking skull.
That's right.
So he rightly assumed not to grab that fucking gem, which I love. And so he quickly gets away, gets his spear, coming to find out that the gem is something more than even he thought it was going to be. It's still embedded in that dude's forehead. Not exactly, no one's exactly sure what the hell's going on, kind of thing with him. He gets this dragon, he meets the matriarch. The matriarch is basically a prisoner underneath the Gaius being the magical compellment that the dragons are under with the oath that Grigori swore with them back in the day.
Right.
It's devolved. I don't even know if I should say devolved, because it probably started out like this too. It's always basically been a way of enslaving the dragons, who are innately the most powerful beings on Archemi because they are basically pure magic. Like, their blood is literal magic. It will literally make people strange and die from being around it. Like, it's not even close to being right. And so Hector is upset about that, promises to free all the other dragons. The matriarch gives him an egg. Did she say it was a queen egg?
Yep.
Okay, I couldn't remember if she said
not only is it a queen egg, but that she's had other queen eggs that she's had to basically kill.
Yes, and so it was coming time to kill this one as well. And so she said, "I'm choosing you," and gave him the queen egg instead.
And teleported his ass out of there.
Yep, teleports him away, and that's basically how it ends. Oh, no. He's getting chased by the Mata Argus for a while, and he falls and cracks the egg on impact. Panicking.
Gotta give that CPR.
Yeah, panicking, he cracks the egg open the rest of the way, gets Karalti out, gives her CPR, makes sure her little heart starts beating again, and while she's clawing at him, literally just like lacerating his legs open, not even caring how fucking much damage he's taken. He's just cuddling this little dragon like, oh my god, I almost lost her immediately. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of that's pretty much the meat of the first book. Is the world building, though, is the main thing in this book that is done.
I think in that regard, I think he does Yeah, and I think in that regard he does a great job of setting up the scene. So I mean, if you're not interested in that kind of the enormity of what he's describing, then it's like this might be too much for you. You might need to stick to the books where it's a single dungeon or like a one town thing.
Yeah, or like mimicking or something like that. Yeah, because
I mean, you would hope that. I mean, you've read, and it's obvious that he wouldn't make this map without there being, I mean, I made a map of my thing, and it's only like, it's a small part of the continent, because that's where my brain has gone so far. This dude has made an entire world map, and with the details, so it's like, man, he's going all over the place. So just buckle up.
You want to know something else that's like really cool? It's like my favorite little detail about this world. That map is and will always remain incomplete because previous continents that were floating in the sky have been destroyed.
Oh, no shit.
Yes, so the dragon gates, as you know, are becoming like the big thing. He's got to find the different gates with the different gems kind of thing, right? One of them, okay, if I'm not mistaken, one of them is either above the cloud line or it's in space. Yeah, so
it's gonna become a space opera.
He has everything planned out to be like this amazing epic. Sadly, he's been on hiatus for a little while because of life happening with his own personal things I don't want to get into. I know a little bit of because my father and I have spoken to him a little bit from Lit RPG Con, but I'm eagerly awaiting, man. I am so ready for him to drop it. I am not going to bug him about it. I want him to take as long as he needs and craft this next book, because the last one was just fire on every page. I loved it, man. This series is great. I highly recommend it, especially listening to it. We get more, of course, as I said, you get more Lori Catherine Winkle later on in the series, as she gets to be the main dragon in the book. She also plays the love interest. Hector is played by Justin Thomas James, and Justin narrates most of the book as well as plays a few of the other supporting characters, but Jeff Hayes gets even more supporting character roles later on down the line. So if you like any of those three as well, highly recommend listening to it. Reading it has been a pleasure as well, because remember how you were trying to figure out how to describe the mark on his hand?
Yes.
There you go.
Oh, they've got art?
Yeah, he's got a little bit in there, but that's the mark of material on his hand, so you're aware.
That's dope.
Yeah.
It's a chaos symbol.
Basically, that's what I always thought, too.
How many arrows are there?
7. I think there's 7. 9, sorry. 9.
Chaos
It's
symbol.
9.
Okay, I think a chaos symbol has got 8 arrows. I'd have to look that up.
Yeah, but that's the mark that's on his hand as well. If I'm not mistaken, that's like the only instance of art in this book. There are a few things that I don't understand that you might know. There's like a giant S at the end of certain spots. Does that mean scene?
Like underneath the chapter, or at the end of a chapter?
No, like there'll be like, for example, the chapter will start, there'll be a bunch of words in the paragraphs, like we're talking like 8 paragraphs maybe, and then there'll be an S, like a bold S, and then next paragraph will be down here. And I've just never understood if that's scene or not.
That might be his version of scene. Usually to break a scene, like we've had breakfast and now we're skipping to, we just finished breakfast and now we're, the next paragraph you read, they're on the trail.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's usually like 3 asterisks, stars, to indicate that.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, okay, here, I found one. So, like right there, you see that S? Like, that's how he was breaking up certain scenes at points.
Yeah, that might be his version of it. I guess I'd have to see the book. What happens at the end of that one paragraph and then the start of the next one?
I gotta go back and find it again. Oh, well, here's a different one, so let me go find that other one that I just saw. Okay. So, one of them is him with Cutthroat. Yeah, it's definitely the end of the scene. Yeah,
it's just his version.
Him, running through the area with Cutthroat, and then hours later they appear at the fort. So yeah, it's definitely his version of the scene.
Why not? I mean, it's not like, the thing that I've learned most about writing rules is that you just need to be consistent.
Oh yeah.
If you consistently do something, it means something. If you keep flopping back and forth, then you have to go into like the English rules of where a ampersand goes versus an M dash versus an elliptical, or the ellipses with the 3 dots kind of thing. I mean, there's rules for that, don't get me wrong. But in general, like, as long as you're consistent with how you're writing something, whether it's capitalized or not, or whether it's like those symbols, then that's what it is. What it is. Like, I've had like my editor talk to me about like, well, you should, you can do this or you can do that, or as long as this is what you plan to do the entire time, then that's fine. So.
Which that's interesting. That's another part of like being an author that I didn't know about. Like, most of the time, like in school, like for example, I didn't like a lot of my language arts teachers because they were just rude people. I had very few that were
pretentious,
kind.
probably.
Yeah. Like for example, I don't really want to like say her name or defame her anyway, but like one of my teachers in high school, she wanted me to read that, like, I think it's called Bait or something like that. It's where like prostitutes get lost at sea and are forced into a survival situation on an island, and some of them are like eaten by sharks or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. I was reading what was I reading? I think I was reading like a Sherilyn Kenyon book or something like that. I might have been reading Styx, which is like one of my favorite books of all time. I was kind of like, can I just read this and report this to you? Because if you're going off of damaged sexual trauma, I have that in this book too. Like,
if that's a requirement for...
Well, because that was like every single book she picked. Like, almost every single one had some kind of sexual trauma in it. And I was like, I don't want to read your books. I'd rather read this one where some dude is actually at war fighting for his life and like severing limbs and hewing bone.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, you'll find that if you go into most English teachers, I'm generalizing here, of course. This isn't fact, but
a dig towards her. That was just the curriculum she chose.
I've found that a lot of the English teachers that I had, especially when I was in junior college and college, well, not college, but junior college and high school, they aspired to be authors, and it just didn't work out for them. So essentially, like, let's say I try to do my thing, it doesn't work out for me. Well, I've learned all of this shit about how to write and where periods and commas and semicolons go, so I might as well go and be an English teacher.
Yeah, but I don't expect you to be like, hey, kids, I want you to read about prostitutes getting lost at sea.
I know, that's...
You tried to force me to read that book, and I was like, I don't want to read this.
This is making me really uncomfortable. Nah, our teachers, I mean, I got like 20 years on you, so like we were still in the... required reading, like Jack London, Call of the Wild kind of stuff. Hatchet, if you remember that book.
I loved Hatchet, man. That was the third grade. I'll be honest with you, my third grade teacher, who was more of like a history major than anything else, he made us read Hatchet, and I fucking loved Hatchet. It was so good. It was a really good book.
Dope.
It's one of the best survival books I've ever read in my life, and it's just raw survival. That's all it is. It's what it's about, and I loved it.
Yeah, same. Lord of the Flies.
I didn't read that one specifically. That was one of the ones we had to read.
It's an interesting one. It's a little bit less about survival, and it's more about social.
The social mechanisms. Yeah.
Social structures within, like, political structures and. It's very much leaning towards like human behavior.
Yeah.
Before the Flies, but I mean those are the books to read of Mice and Men.
We definitely did Of Mice and Men. We did the Odyssey as well, which I don't know why we didn't do the Iliad. We did the Odyssey, but we didn't do the Iliad, which was
too long.
I don't know. I don't know. We had multiple years with some of these teachers, so like we could have done that. But even then, that was like my issue with a bunch of the language arts teachers. They wanted me to read whatever book they wanted me to read, and I was like, with all due respect, your book has no interest to me. I will be bored, and I will not give you a productive report about this. And
it's almost like they just want to talk about it themselves, right? They're like, oh, I like this book and I want people to talk about it with, so I'm going to make my class read it.
Yeah, and like I'm okay with something like that, like that's fine and everything. So like what we're doing now, but like at the same time, you can't force me to do an assignment on this book that I have zero interest in and expect me to pass your fucking class. Like, I'm gonna fail the assignment. Any assignment based on this book, I'm gonna fail because I don't like the book.
Right. My memory's gonna strain. My interest is gonna wane. I'm gonna fall asleep halfway through the first chapter. Like.
Right. It's like all these things. It's like I read books in my free time. So like at the time, I always had a book in front of me that wasn't what they wanted me to read, and I just wouldn't do their assignments at that point because I would just be like, I don't want to read this book. The book is boring. This book is interesting. This is a whole new world with magic and elves and whatnot. Or and one of them, it's Greek mythology inspired. So I'm like, oh my god, this has the gods among us in today's society. This is very interesting on how the fuck this is relevant and why the fuck is this going on, considering the Greek gods are supposed to be dead, and it's because they can just time travel whenever they want. They're gods. And I was like, that makes so much fucking sense. That makes so much goddamn sense, actually.
I feel like it when it's simple like that, and you're just like, yeah.
It's like,
it doesn't.
Why wouldn't you be able to time travel? Why wouldn't you be able to go to the future and get a chocolate bar that's a Hershey's chocolate bar? Like, why not?
This timeline sucks.
Yeah, it's like this timeline sucks. This has no chocolate. The baklava is great, but the chocolate sucks. I'm gonna go to the 21st century and get a Hershey's bar and come back.
Give you some proper spinacopita here.
Yeah, it's like somebody from the back is like, "Hey, give me a 6-pack of Heineken or something." But yeah,
that's slop.
Yeah, I always love that about different books, though. Is like some stuff is really easy, simple, explained like that. Other ones are, this skill tree is so massive and in depth, I can't describe even a fraction of what's going to happen in this book for right now.
Even if I give you the diagram that you're asking for, you'd probably confuse you further.
Yeah,
you'd have more. You'd come out with more questions than answers.
I think Jay recently released a chart for his key affinities for Will of the Immortals. That didn't raise more questions. It just made me go, I need characters with this affinity now. It's like, I need somebody that can do that. That would be awesome to read about. Like, I don't think he intended to write about Sun Wukong, but like, there's a Monkey King monk in his book now, and in one of the books, and he gets a crown from the main character, because in the very first book they raid a dungeon and it's a celestial item that is given to him that he has no fucking use for at all, and it comes up in like book 4. Yeah, it's hilarious too how he wrote this character in this world. So you know how a lot of people have like spatial storage and like inventory systems and stuff like that in their stuff, right? So this world has spatial storage, but the main character has his own spatial storage, like in his actual abilities, and it's something that's kind of unique to him. Not a lot of people have that ability. What's unique about his, however, this man literally, they're in a warehouse at one point in one of these books, and they're looting things. So I'm not going to describe what they're looting, so you have a little bit of actual realization when you come to this moment in the books when you're listening to them later on. But they get to the point where they're like looting this warehouse, and he's like, in his mind, he's like, I could store everything in this warehouse and the entire warehouse and still have space. That's how much space he has, and mind you, everybody else.
Crawler.
Yeah, and like everybody else has like 5 cubic feet of space they can store stuff in. So they get like a.
That's what I did. My character has a 4x5 grid. He can only he has 20 slots.
Yep. So that's even cooler because it's a grid as well as also being like a limited amount of actual space in the thing. So you also have 20 inventory slots, but you could store whatever you wanted in those slots as long as it's the same item kind of relevancy. If you
they stack
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like you could stack stuff there. His, however, is just basically he could just step into a warehouse, and that's just his space. Like it's insane how gigantic it is. It's unfathomable. And mind you, that's book 2. That's before.
Is there a weight?
What? Go ahead.
Is there a weight reduction? So like my ring is an absolute is a zero weight. Like you can carry whatever you want as long as you can lift it and play. As long as you can pick it up, you can put it in the ring. But it'll weigh nothing once it's in the ring. Where others will have they'll be encumbered. Like even in this book, he was encumbered at the end because he was carrying the egg. Yep. And the saddle or something like that for.
Well, he was carrying all of his armor and stuff like that in the bag too, and everything. Like all
when he got the egg, he could only walk.
Yeah. Yeah. So in Will of the Immortals, Leon's specific ability, it's not specified the amount of weight reduction given, but it is a massive amount of weight reduction given to the point that
it usually is.
Yeah, like
usually
we're
like
talking.
80%.
Oh no! Like we're talking. It's he probably feels 0.01% of the weight of the item.
Okay, so it's like a 99% reduction.
Yeah. He can carry like whatever the fuck he wants as long as it fits in his space, kind of thing.
That's fine.
Which is really interesting because I've read the other series he's doing, which is the story for his master and more world building of the actual world and everything like that. Mm-hmm. His master gets a ring that is only like a 5x5 space ring, which also I love this because this is a nice little thing that is I like about his writing style. That ring he gave to Leon at the beginning of the story when Leon and the other main character meet up and go back to meet him. He throws that ring at Leon and is like, here, this is for you, because that's what happened with him. An old man gave him the ring when he was a young man too. I was like, yo, that's such a good ass fucking thing to do. I don't even know it's
full circle Easter egg.
Yeah. It's like he didn't plan to do that either, and I know he was just doing it so that the main character actually got items and he wasn't like shafted out of not having things. Like it was one of those things. But it's one of those things where it's like he kept the tradition alive and did it again with the like. I swear to God, it's like the exact same ring. I swear he threw to Hannah. There's no way it wouldn't be the exact same ring at that point. Knowing that man, he would be materialistic enough to keep that ring meticulously clean and well stocked with provisions so that he can do the exact same thing that was done to him.
Like here.
Yeah, because
this was the head start I got.
Exactly, because he got a head start of like clothes, food, water, and they were all like key enriched food. So like it was food to help him actually stabilize his body and heal after he was injured in his opening series for Smiling Mask. And so like when he did it to Leon has his own storage space. So I love his response because he just kind of took the ring, looked at his friend, and threw it to her. Like said nothing, just kind of, there you go.
There you go. You're welcome.
Yeah. It's just like it's great though. I love that little nod, and that's something that I know he didn't like plan to write out in his book, but the fact that it came up again in The Smiling Mask and not in Will of the Immortals was really cool. I like that a lot.
I mean, well, that's some of the quirky humor that you like to come across, where it's a nod towards some other thing that has nothing to do with this story per se.
Oh yeah.
But it's like, I mean, there's a movie called Trading Places. Mm-hmm. Maybe you've heard of it, seen it.
I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen it.
But there's Trading Places, and there's, what's the other one? Anyhow, like these old is in Coming to America. With
okay, yes, yeah. Okay, I know.
So in Coming to America, he's the rich prince.
Yes.
He's on a date, and he's like, he gives this bag of money to these two white bums, right? Mm-hmm. Well, those two white bums are the brothers from Trading Places that originally screwed Eddie Murphy's character, like in a totally different universe, in a totally different movie, in a time, and they're the same names too. It's not even like a nod. The guy calls himself Mortimer. He's like, Mortimer, we're back in business, kind of thing, and it's just kind of a funny. It's just, I like that shit where it's a nod towards something somebody else's work that people enjoy, and it's a little Easter egg things that I enjoy finding in books.
Yeah, I do too, especially with like the lit RPG community. There's so many little nods to things in different books, like even Travis Baldree. Have you listened or read anything from Travis Baldree at all?
I'll tell you something off recording.
Oh, okay.
I want to record. It's controversial.
No, that's fine.
But I know who he is. I've listened to him. Yes.
But I got his new books, and like his new books have like silly, stupid references in them to like modern lingo that wouldn't be, in a fantasy setting kind of thing. But
no,
like,
I've never listened to any of his books specifically. I've only listened to books that he's narrated.
Well, fun fact, he narrated his own book series for this.
I would hope so. This is the Legends and Lattes?
Yes, it is the Legends and Lattes series. Yes, he narrates.
I've been wanting to listen to it. Like I said, everybody loves him. I met him at the Lit RPG. He's a super nice guy. Mm-hmm. But I've never read his stuff or listened to his stuff.
Honestly,
that's my little confession.
I had never. Oh, you're fine. That's fine. I'll be honest. I had never even listened to a book that he narrated before. I think until recently. If I'm not mistaken, almost all of my stuff that I listen to has been sound booth theater for like 4 or 5 years before that. Yeah, pretty much. pretty much just exclusively Sound Booth Theater Productions for what I'm looking at right now.
I mean, they got a wide range of people that you can listen to. You're gonna get a variety of voices and stuff like that. So, I mean, and they're doing it the best as it is right now. So, I mean, why not stick with it?
They really are. They're some of the best in the biz, period, right now, and I love all of them. They're all getting to actually meet all of them and talk with them, and then also getting to play cards with Jeff Hayes that we got to do.
Dude,
like I was the only person at the table. I have to say this. I was the only person at the fucking table that when Jeff was like, "All right, I'm gonna change the cards in the middle," and he swapped out everything to the discard system. I looked at him and I went, "You devious son of a bitch, I love you." And he's got a big old grin on his face and like evil maniacal grin, and I was like, let's do this. But yeah, it was great.
Right before he sat down at the table, I was just like, I had like a fanboy moment. I'm like, there he is, man. That's Jeff. That's the dude. I wonder what he's looking for. He's probably gonna go somewhere. He's probably looking for his table. Mm-hmm. Is he gonna sit here? Is he gonna fucking sit right next to me? Is Jeff Hayes, is this happening right now? He pulls the chair out and sits down. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, who? You guys fucking with me right now? He's like the belle of the ball.
Right.
And I get to fucking sit right next to him for the next 2 hours and play a card game with him. It was an enjoyable experience.
Yeah.